Hello everyone, welcome to another devlog. In this devlog, I'm going to be talking about letting that project go when you're sick and tired of it and there's no actual reason to hold on to it. That is important, because if you're being paid, you have to finish it. If you are promising your product and you don't deliver, it's not good, you have to finish it. But if it's a learning project, it's okay to let that go. If it's a personal project and you're just over it, it's okay to let that go. And it's really hard for me to even understand, which is why we're kind of doing group therapy today. I'm telling myself it's alright while telling you it's alright. Okay, let's go. Some of you may know that I was working on a game called Flappy Fidget. I have 16 live streams where I worked on it. I have, I think, 4 or 5 devlogs. I don't remember how many devlogs I had for it. The premise was it's a Flappy Bird clone, but that's only the last level. It was going to have 3 mini games to tell the story of Fidget, my blue butterfly character, becoming a butterfly from a caterpillar. And I've had this story in my head for years, and I thought, okay, a game might be how I can tell the story. But after months of working on it and meandering, no, I don't like it. I don't like the game. I don't like anything about it storytelling wise, because I don't feel like you're seeing a story really. And I just decided to cut the first 2 levels, and Flappy Fidget is now just a Flappy Bird clone, and it is available now if you want to play it. I did quite enjoy finishing it because I actually like making menus. I know a lot of people hate UI and hate menus. I haven't made a big UI yet, but I love making menus. I've always liked making menus. Menus has always been my favorite part of making games, and I know that's weird, but let me have this. So what I'm going to talk about is things I've learned through this project and just putting some perspective on giving up on a project. So Flappy Fidget is what I believe people call development hell. That is when you're just constantly working on a game, but it's meandering, it's not going anywhere. Like, you are adding things, but it doesn't feel like it's adding things, you know? And I came to the point where I figured this was a good idea in concept, but in execution, it's very all over the place. I also personally do not like the mini games that I was making, like the type of mini game. Like, I don't like endless runners, I don't like platformers, I don't generally play clicker games. So I wasn't making games I like, which made it even worse over time because it just became very boring and like not fun to test. And it wasn't like, well, I'm sick of this, it's not fun. No, it's just the type of game I wouldn't like, so it wasn't fun. The same for the Game Jam game. It was a bunch of mini games that I wouldn't normally play, which didn't help, but it was for a game jam, so I'm more lenient because that was a few days versus months. So I really just had to let it go. It wasn't going anywhere. It was just in development hell. But I did learn things while making it, and I want to say the things that I learned. First thing I learned, first and foremost, absolutely important, unless there is a case like a game jam where you're just trying to make something different, or a concept, or a very, very simple prototype, make games that you want to play, because you have to play them a lot. You have to play them a billion times before something will work sometimes. You might be like, okay, I put this all in the right order, everything is perfect, and you will be testing it for 4 hours wondering why it doesn't work, to realize that you put the X position in the Y position section of your game engine. So, yeah, that happened to me many times. Yeah, things like that will happen. So you better like the game you're playing, because you have to play it a lot. And the type of games I was making, I don't like them. I don't like Flappy Bird. I don't like those types of games. I don't like them. So make a game, if it's a long-term game, that you would actually want to play, because you will be there a while. A very long while. Especially if you want to make like a Steam release type sized game. You're gonna be there a while. Make sure you like it. Another thing I learned, which I kind of already knew, but I never really needed to put into practice, is how to make a consistent art style. Now, I am not someone who sticks to a singular style. I am what Mira Byler would call a style hopper. I can make super cute little chibi animal characters, or if I'm trying really hard, I'll do like semi-realism. So I can kind of have a big range. I also use traditional and digital art, so like my range is really big. I'm not saying I'm great at all of the range, but I have a range. And having to hone in on a specific section of my skill set, it was actually nice to make everything that looked like it matched and was consistent and all of that. That was actually really nice. And also it was very naturey, so it was stuff I liked to draw, which made it easier. So overall, that was actually a nice, fun experience. Art for me is the fun part anyway, so I was trying to make sure it all matched. I did almost everything that was important in Procreate until the end when I started to just use Clipstudio, because honestly, the only thing that I hate about using Procreate, that I actually hate, is that you can't just, put it on your computer unless you have an Apple computer, but I don't. So I have to save it, it has to go on the cloud, then I have to download it, and if I want to download a bunch at once, then I have to extract a zip file, and if that is just sketches for an animation, then I have to put all of the frames into a program, put them in the right order, because they exported all out of order, and that's the one thing. That's not really Procreate's fault. It's more of an iPad problem if you're a PC, like a Microsoft user. That's tedious. But I did like making the art. I liked the art style that I made. It looks really nice on mobile. Looks very vibrant and detailed, but not too detailed where it's blurry. It looks nice on mobile. So that was really nice, getting to make a consistent art style. It was good practice for that. Another thing that this is teaching me is positive failure. And that might sound weird, like, what is positive failure? Because throughout my life, especially throughout my childhood, if you didn't do good, you did something wrong, or you're a failure because you didn't try hard enough. And I'm going to tell you something that I have a hard time believing myself, so I am not preaching to anybody but me, because I don't fully believe this, but I know it's true. And I know that's a weird way to look at it, but I feel like everyone has that one thing they don't fully believe, but they know it's true. Failure is only failure if you let it be, which sounds weird, and I'm going to feel like a failure a lot, so I'm not acting like I've gotten this down yet, because I haven't. I will say positive failure is you didn't succeed at what you were achieving, but at least you tried, and maybe you learned something. And with this, I learned a lot of things, even though I'm not very good at holding on to all of the information, but I have the project files to reference, and I'm not copying anybody else's stuff, so now it's like my stuff that I'm consistently doing and learning. I didn't make the game I wanted to make. I failed, but I could present something. So did I really fail? I just didn't make what I intended to make. I don't know, it's really hard for me to comprehend the idea that I didn't fail, because I'm always used to feeling like that. But I'm gonna call it a win. At least something's on itch.io now. Before there wasn't something on itch.io, and now there is. So I mean, it's the small wins in life. And the last thing that I would say I really benefited from while making the game is I got more comfortable in the game engine I use. So I use GDevelop, and GDevelop is a free engine. It's supposed to be a no code, but there is code. I don't know why they call it a no code. They should call it a less code engine, but it's whatever. We're gonna call it a no code engine for simplicity. It is a no code engine, and it's still a lot to learn, even if you don't have to program each individual little thing. But I learned a lot using it, and I reused a lot later that I ended up cutting. Like knowledge and also assets and stuff that I made. Like I reuse sounds and music for other things and stuff like that. But within the engine, I did a lot of things I've never done before. I made a day-night cycle. I started using particle effects. I started using pathing. I started using timers. I started using a lot of things that are now just things I use. So I learned a lot, which I would say is the biggest win out of everything, really, because, It's always nice to know you've learned and you didn't get nothing out of it. So I would definitely say, even if you abandon your project, remember you know more than before you started. Because even before I decided to abandon it, I used things that I learned in this game for my first Game Jam game. I'm already reusing stuff. And for the game that I am working on now, which I will not be showing off for a bit, I want to make sure I'm committed. The game that I'm working on now, although it's a top-down, it's still gonna have stuff that I learned from this game, like timers and animation stuff that I learned. It's still gonna benefit from this game. And I'm just happy that I tried. I'm happy that at least I committed as long as I did, and I'm happy I can at least present something. And I would say a bonus thing, I guess, that I learned is don't show off your idea until you're sure you want to commit. Because I showed this off too early and it stressed me out because I felt like now I have to finish it. I made devlogs about it. So for the project I'm working on now, I will not be showing it off until I have a few devlogs already made but not live. And if I still have an interest, then I'll start posting those devlogs. I am, as we speak, working on something that you probably won't hear about until the end of the year. But don't let that make you think I'm just not going to show anything. I do want to join at least one more game jam, maybe 2 more before the end of the year. We will see how I'm feeling mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically. I do want to join some game jams, and I want to stream working on those if I join them. There will be things to watch from me. I'm also going to get back into making some animatics in the meantime. I might do sneak peeks of the game if I feel like making pixel art for it. Maybe I just won't do like characters and stuff. I'll just do like set pieces and stuff. You know, like the beautifying assets, maybe. I don't know. Because I bought a sprite, and oh my goodness, it's wonderful. That's another video I need to make. So yeah, that's what I learned. That's what I got out of it. And like I said before, the game is available now to play. So if you want to try it out, feel free. Absolutely feel free. And tell me what you think in general. It is basically an abandoned project now, so I don't intend on trying to fix anything. But if you can suggest how to fix things that you notice, that's still useful to me because I can implement that later so things don't break. So I'm still open for constructive criticism, even if I don't intend on actually changing anything. And yeah, I will see you all later. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I will see you all whenever I make the next video. Bye!